Good morning, church, and happy Wednesday, halfway through the week in our first week of Core Strength 50 Days to Greater Spiritual Strength. And I'm really looking forward to this series. And this morning is just a quick coaching call, a quick opportunity to just say, hope you're doing well and that you're taking opportunity this week already to take some steps, some small steps maybe, to greater spiritual strength. And on Sunday and each week of the series, we'll be walking through one of the 7 churches of Revelation. And on Sunday, this past week, we went through and looked at the church of Ephesus. And you can find that in Revelation chapter 2, verses 1 through 7. And this church, man, it had it all. It had it all. It had the look. It had the right teaching, and that was good. They were persevering, awesome. They did all of these great things, man. They had all this happening. Their classes were full, maybe. They had these hard workers. They were truth defenders. They had the doctrines right. And those are good things. But Jesus says, I have this against you, church. You've missed the most important thing. You have forsaken. You have forgotten. You have left your love for me behind. Church, Christians, you've started going through the motions. And that's when churches really can be in trouble, is when we maybe have everything right on the outside, or maybe in our own personal lives we have the right look, but inside something's missing. I'm a Cubs fan, and don't hold that against me, but a couple of weeks ago I was watching a Cubs game, as we often do. Dansby Swanson, our shortstop, hits the ball, runs hard, and he's called safe at first. And a run scores, we're tied. It looks like we're going to turn this thing around. But the other team challenges. They said, take another look at that. And upon further review, it shows by video that Dansby Swanson, although he hit the ball hard, although he made great contact, although he got to first, got down the line as fast as he could, and he really hustled, the problem was he was out because he had missed touching first base. In all of that work and all of that speed and all of that hustle and all of the excitement, he missed one of the most important things. He didn't touch first base. He just missed it. His foot never touched the bag. And in baseball, they're probably not going to have major long-term consequences with something like that. But that's really what Jesus was saying to the church in Ephesus, and a warning that we can take to heart, is that churches and Christians can have everything that maybe looks good on the outside, and some of the things are really important. But Jesus looks at the church in Ephesus, and he looks at the church in Catlin, and he looks at you and I in our lives, and he says, don't miss the most important thing. Don't forget to love me. Jesus says, don't forget to love me, church. And sometimes the way we reignite that passion for him, that commitment to him, that allegiance to him, is to go back and do the things we did when we first became Christians, when we first were aware that we were saved, when we were first impressed and blown away by God's grace in our lives. And so let's go back and maybe kind of put some of the distractions of our lives away, whatever it might be. Extra TV time, or too much overtime, or endless social media scrolling, or endless news, or maybe for a season cut back some of the travel or the travel commitments, or whatever, for a period of time in our life. What if we just put the distractions aside and said, I want to make sure that I focus on Jesus. I want to make sure that I don't forsake my first love. And so we put the distractions away, and we fill those with things that draw us back to him. Reading scripture not to memorize. Memorizing is great, but not simply to memorize. Reading scripture not to be ready for a lesson or for a sermon, talking to myself here, but to read the scripture and just to read it to remember the story. To open books like Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John, and John happens to be my favorite, but to open the scripture and just read the stories and be reminded of who Jesus is, what he's done, and how that has impacted the world in our lives. Play some worship music with some more regularity in our life. Don't worry if it gets loud. Put away some of those other things that take our time and just listen to the music, sing out with it. Let it be an encouragement. Whatever your particular favorite style is, it's a great time during the week. It's a time for you to be the DJ, to choose the music that best speaks your language. And then just pray simply. Don't worry about how you sound. Don't worry about, having all the these and the thous or dear Heavenly Fathers. Those are fine. But just talk to Him. Tell Him about your day. Tell Him what made you happy today. Tell Him what you're afraid of. Ask for His help. Ask for His wisdom and advice. Just talk to Him like maybe you once did. And use these 50 days as an opportunity to reconnect with Him and reignite our spiritual passion and to get spiritually fit. Because if our faith grows stronger, then our churches get better. And when churches get better, it encourages the world. The world needs the church, and the church needs to be healthy. And a healthy church needs us to begin by making sure we start everything with a deep and abiding love in Jesus. Have a great week.